I grew up in Romania until the age of 12. My parents were survivors of the Romanian Holocaust. And when Mahmoud Khalil was abducted, when Rumeza Öztürk was abducted, and I watched those videos, it brought back these feelings of terror that I grew up with as a child, the helplessness in front of seemingly all-powerful forces that couldn't be stopped, that were arbitrary, and that had only the barest rationale for, or no rationale for, these arrests. I think the condition for these arrests have been created by our universities. Unfortunately, Columbia, where I teach and where I've taught for 20 years, was the model for this. And the way they've been created is, first of all, by accepting and then promoting the big lie that anti-Semitism is driving protests against the brutal genocidal war of Israel on Gaza, that these are anti-Semitic protests, of excluding and suspending student groups, of draconian measures of punishment, but also of casting protesters as terrorists. It's brought upon us this terrible repression under the guise of fighting anti-Semitism. And the reason for this was never to fight anti-Semitism, but it was to decimate academia. Autocratic regimes go after education. I mean, certainly higher education. Why? Well, academic freedom, self-governance, inquiry, open inquiry, the possibility that we might promote a narrative of history that is true, but that doesn't conform to the vision of the autocrat. All of those things are extremely threatening, and we've seen it not just in early Nazi Germany, but certainly in Hungary, in Turkey, in India, the crackdown on universities. But what's more concerning to me is the response of universities, not just anticipatory obedience, but really anticipatory capitulation, first through these task forces and accepting the anti-Semitism narrative, but then agreeing to the demands, which are completely illegal and unreasonable demands, in the hope of pacifying the autocrat. So what I'm not seeing is solidarity among universities, the willingness or the eagerness to fight back and to say, no way, we're not going to stand for this. And what I'm seeing is spread is the kind of helplessness that I felt as a child and that I picked up from my surroundings, the fear of speaking, the suspicion that one can be denounced, that there are lists out there, that we don't know who's on the lists, that there's nothing that can be done to help. And I'm seeing my students silence themselves, being afraid to speak, wondering who might be denouncing them, who might be making lists.